Okay, let's see if I can finish this one today. S8, I guess that's chapter 8, I don't know. The Elf Maiden. My father summoned me, both me and Katya no less. For some reason, I even had to bring Faye along. All three of us were puzzled as to what it might be about. You don't think it's about an engagement, do you? What? Whose? You know, you and me? Katya's insane suggestion left me at a total loss. I mean, technically, that is a good thing to think, that is a good, thing that it could be, because usually in this kind of world, you'd be getting set up for engagements at this young age, getting to know the person you're going to be engaged to, and since it's you and Katya, that's kind of a reasonable thing to assume at this point, because you don't know. No, it couldn't be. What's this? Have you developed a taste for BL or something? Or boy love? Well, it wouldn't be boy love in this case. Look at us, would you? A boy and a girl around the same age from a similar pedigree. Not to mention, it's clear that we get along. Would it be that surprising if our parents decided that we should get engaged? I mean, that's, like I said, that's not that far off. It's not that strange to think about in this case. Yeah, when she put it that way, it didn't seem so far-fetched at all. I was a member of the royal family, after all, and Katya was the daughter of a venerable duke. From that perspective, we were a perfect match. And you're okay with that? Man, of course not! I can't even imagine marrying a dude. But it's bound to happen eventually, so I figured I'd better prepare myself. I'm surprised you thought this stuff out that far ahead. Well, excuse me, but honestly, in practical terms, it's better to marry you than get stuck with some rando I'd never even met. You know what my deal is and everything. Besides, it'd be kind of bad manners, but we could always mutually break off the engagement if we really had to. Is that something you could do? I don't know. I'd never even considered the prospect of getting engaged before, but since I was a member of the royal family, that was probably going to come up sooner or later. Yes, more than likely. In which case, it might actually be more convenient to get engaged to Katya since we're both able to just carry on normally, except for one small problem. One problem? I'd say you have two, dude. Considering the fact that you would be expected to have kids, and the poor guy is going to experience pregnancy. Oh, dear Lord Almighty. That's one of the drawbacks of being reborn into a different sex in a fantasy world like that. That's so bad. What would you do about Sue, though? Yeah. My sister Sue wouldn't let anyone else near me. Oh, they wouldn't take her feelings into account on this one. They'd tell her that too bad it's happening, you can't do anything about it. Yeah, this is going to be awkward if that's the case. I'd even see her murderous stare directed at Faye, who from Sue's perspective was just a pet. How can you get jealous of even an animal just because it's female? I wanted to ask her. Yeah, someone said apparently she gets worse. Oh, dear Lord Almighty, is she into that sort of thing? Oh, dear Lord, this is not good. Not good, not good, not good. But I was afraid her response would be something along the lines of, why wouldn't I? Oh, yeah, that would be very bad. She seemed to have gotten slightly more tolerant of Katya by now, but if she ever suspected we might get engaged, there was no telling what she'd do. You might want to, if this is actually what that's about, which I don't think it is, I think you're meeting the teacher in this point, who's the elf lady, because the elf maiden. But you might want to warn your parents about that. Right, she'd probably kill me. Come on, I think you're exaggerating a little. Am I, though? I have to admit, I could see it. I knew Sue was a little bit out there, but I still thought they were being ridiculous. From what I've seen, no, they're not. As we chatted, two more people, a man and a small girl, entered the room. Katya, Faye, and I all gaped in shock at the newcomers. Their ears were far too long to belong to humans. Greetings, friends. I am called Potamus, Okay. I am called Patimus Harifinus, and I have been sent to this fine kingdom as a goodwill ambassador of the elves. It is I who requested your presence here. It is a great pleasure to meet you. The man Patimus introduced himself in a disinterested tone. This was my first time meeting an elf. I knew that it existed, but seeing one up close and in person for the first time drove home that I was in a fantasy world. So you do have it. Huh? Patimus narrowed his eyes, and I got an uncomfortable feeling in my gut. Oka, these two humans and the creature here have what we're looking for. I'll leave the rest to you. Alrighty then, understood. I'll be on my way then. Thanks for your help. Patimus left the room just like that. All Katya and I could do was stare dumbfounded. We didn't even get to introduce ourselves before he took off. With no idea what to do next, I turned my attention to the little girl who'd stayed behind. Now, let me see. I suppose we'll start with introductions, shall we? My current name is Philimos Harifinus. So lovely to meet you. I couldn't remember if that's how you pronounced her name, but I think they usually just called her teacher. Katya and I looked at each other. How are we supposed to respond to such an introduction from this small girl? You know, if your teacher introduces herself, it's only proper to respond in kind, I'd say. And who might you be? Did you guys not understand what she just said? Teacher! Kinda. Hello? My apologies. I am the fourth prince of this kingdom, Schlain Zagan Analit. I am the eldest daughter of Duke Arnabald. Carnatia Seri Anabald. At the girl's prompting, we scrambled to introduce ourselves. I see. A princess and a duchess to be, is it? Very nice. So cute. Something about these words jogged my memory. Her odd manner of speaking had seemed familiar all along, and now I knew who she reminded me of. Katya's eyes widened as he realized it at the same time. No way. Miss Oka? Wait a minute. Didn't he call her Oka? Hold on. Yes, he did! He did call her that! How did they not hear that? Dude! I didn't realize that was her name! Holy shit! You really oughtn't to give nicknames to your teacher, you know. But that's correct. Before our eyes was our homeroom teacher in our former lives, Miss Kanami Okazaki, or Miss Oka for short. This teacher, who we all called by her nickname, was a bit of an unfortunate person. Apparently, she'd adopted the speech tic of one of her favorite manga characters in middle school and ended up talking like that all the time. Oh, God. That is so embarrassing and awkward. She went to a university with a strong history program because of her interest in manga about the Warring States period, and she became a teacher mostly out of a desire to meet a younger man, of course. Overall, a pretty sad excuse for an educator. However, her pathetic nature actually made her rather popular with the students. Alrighty then, how about you? The one pretending to be a pet over there. Huh? How did you know? It's obvious, you know. Really now, I would think you'd already know that since we made sure to invite you too. Faye looked extremely displeased about this, probably because she used to misbehave in class a lot and got more than a few reprimands from the teacher. Maybe she felt a little sheepish about it? I'm Faye Rune. Yes, very good. The teacher patted Faye on the head. Faye grimaced a little at this treatment. So, why are you here, Miss Oka? Why? Because I knew you three were here, of course. You become quite the hot topic, you know. The young prodigies born of the Anale Kingdom are the talk of the town. As we spoke to our teacher for the first time in so long, we all ended up using Japanese. So soon we told her our names from our previous lives. The moment she heard Katya's old name, her eyes widened and she murmured something like, "So cute." So you came just to see us? That's right. Okay, I understand how you know these two oafs were here, but how did you find out about me? I thought I was blending in pretty well as a pet. Then you don't realize how unusual you are, my dear. There are rumors, you know, that the prince's pet is a genius, too. What? Really? That's right. A normal monster wouldn't listen to the commands of a person who doesn't have the creature training skill, not to mention working out and training alongside them, you know. I guess that makes sense. How stupid of me. It was disconcerting that the information could leak outside the castle so easily, but I guess there was no stopping the rumor mill. But that's not the only reason I'm here, my dears. I'm still a teacher, you know. I have to at least make sure my students are safe, you see. As safe as you can be after being reincarnated anyway. She said it jokingly, but I think she actually meant it, and I was kind of impressed. It hadn't even occurred to me to worry about anyone's survival but my own in this world. I did suspect that my other classmates might be here too, but I had never considered actually looking for them. This world is far more dangerous than Japan, you know. If I can ensure your safety, I'd like to do it as soon as I can. I never thought about that either. It should have been obvious, given I know there were monsters and stuff in this world. But since I was safe, I had just assumed that my other classmates would be too. Faye had even told me how she nearly died, but at the time it had seemed to me like a story from far away. So you came to protect us then? Oh goodness, no! Considering your positions, I could hardly just take you away with me, you know. But if any of my students wish it, I'll gladly take them to the village of elves for protection, you see. Does that mean you've already found others? Oh yes! There are 11 students in the elf village, and I've managed to contact 6 others, including the 3 of you. And I've located 2 more, so I'll be off to visit them next, you see. There were 25 students in our class, which would mean there were still 6 more whose whereabouts were unknown. I'm guessing including our little spider friend. Oh boy. But to put it another way, that meant only 6 students hadn't been found. In a vast world like this one, it must have been no small feat to find that many reincarnated students. You've really been looking out for us then, Miss Oka. It's my duty as a teacher, of course. Besides, most of them were living as humans in human territory, you know, so it wasn't as hard as all that. Mostly humans. Faye was stunned by our teacher's words. Don't worry about it, was the only comfort I could muster. Despite Miss Oka's light tone, it was clear she'd been working hard to find everyone. Does that mean there were others that were reincarnated as elves? Because, I mean, she was. So were some elves? Or is she implying that some were monsters besides Faye and our spider friend? I don't know. I bowed my head toward her and thanks again. Alrighty then, there's so much more we should talk about, but I'll be off to enter the school of this kingdom soon. We can discuss everything then, alright? Kati and I will be attending that school soon too. I'm not even gonna try to mimic how she's talking, like how she puts emphasis on some of the vowels and stuff. I'm like, nope. I'd probably be butchering it, and I don't want to make you guys mad. We were allowed to bring pets, so I was planning to bring Faye with me as well. A whole new life was dawning on the horizon. Okay, here we go. 12. Battling 300 feet up. Uh-oh. So tired. I'm not going to be able to keep my eyes open much longer. I didn't realize camping without a simple home would be such a pain. I thought I could stick it out a little longer, but now I might be in real trouble if I don't come up with a good method of getting some restful sleep soon. Then again, if it were that easy, I wouldn't be forcing myself to keep exploring until exhaustion threatened to knock me out. The Earth Dragon probably isn't going to show up at this point, but now my problem is that I'm in the middle of an area chock full of other strong monsters. There's no guarantee that one of them won't just break through a basic web with ease. But that doesn't mean I can go ahead and build a more elaborate shelter here. I don't want to put down roots in this place. I want to get out of here as soon as possible. It doesn't make sense to spend a ton of time on a new home. In which case, it makes more sense to build a simple one, but I have no way of knowing whether that'll be enough to keep out the monsters that inhabit this area. I've been going over the same thoughts again and again, and now I'm stuck in a mental loop. I rack my exhausted brain trying to figure out what to do. A simple home might work depending on how I make it, right? Like, instead of setting it up wherever, I could hide it in a hard-to-find nook or something. Yeah, try to find an opening that most monsters wouldn't be able to get through. But yeah, it would give you some kind of protection because it would be at a place that most monsters wouldn't be able to fit. The rocks around here are pretty angular, but they don't necessarily make for the safest hiding spots. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I don't have to hide at all. As long as other monsters can't mess with me anywhere is fine, right? In which case I might know a good place after all. So I head there right away, there being the ceiling by way of climbing the wall. Whew, so high. Man, that was scary. Can I really sleep soundly here? Only monsters you would be able to get up that would be able to get to you would be monsters that could climb. And even then, if you did it in the center of the room, they would have to be able to go around the ceiling, on the ceiling to get you. So anything that could fly or do that, or other insects, would be able to get to you. Other than that, you should be fine, as long as it's not too big. Or anything that's got a ranged attack. But I haven't seen any monsters around these parts that can fly or climb walls. Aside from the snail bugs, anyway. I haven't seen any bees since coming out into this big space either, so I figure it might be safe to set up a little home between the ceiling and the wall and sleep there. And so without further ado, I start building my web. Wow, this is seriously high though. Probably about 300 feet in the air. How many skyscraper floors would that be? I think the title was fighting in 300 feet up or something like that. So yeah, he's going to find something that's going to fight her. If I fall, I'll definitely die. I mean, I have a lifeline, so there's probably nothing to worry about, but it's still scary to work out in the open like this. Come on, fear resistance, get to work already. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill, fear resistance level 5 has become fear resistance level 6. Okay, I'm sorry, I spoke too soon. Just don't sass me like that, alright? Man, that startled me. Anyway, now the outer frame is complete. This is totally obvious from the outside, though, isn't it? If it takes a hit from a long-distance attack like the Earth Dragon's breath, it'll go down, won't it? It's probably best to hide a little somehow. Maybe I can use the rocks lying around on the ground? I lower myself back down for a bit and look at the rocks. These are way too big. Can I break them down somehow? Maybe with cutting thread or something? I fasten the thread to the rock, activate cutting thread, and pull. It scores it a little bit, but not enough to do much good. Maybe I can move it out like a saw? Move it like a saw? Oh, that seems to work a little at a time. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill cutting thread level 3 has become cutting thread level 4. My skill level goes up in the process, making my work more efficient. Alright, now I have some diced rock. I guess I can apply it to the surface of my web as a camouflage. First I stick thread to the rock firmly, then I climb up to 300 feet to the nest with the thread still attached. Okay, now all I have to do is pull it up and... oh man, that's heavy. Come on, put your back into it. Heave-ho! Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill strength level 2 has become strength level 3. My strength skill level increases along the way. Even with the extra level, this thing is still a struggle. Whew, this is consuming my immediate stamina and my overall stock stamina at the same time. What a pain! Proficiency has reached the required level. Acquired skill, instantaneous level 1. Instantaneous? I want to know what that one says. Proficiency has reached the required level. Acquired skill, persistence level 1. I gained some skills, but I don't have time to check them out right now. Come on, pull! Whew! Finally, I managed to lift the rock into place. Whoa, on closer inspection, my red stamina bar actually decreased past the overeating reserves I had. So that's why it was so painful. Huh? I thought I had come up with a quick method of getting a good night's sleep, and in retrospect, I actually ended up giving myself more work. Oh man, seriously? So much for that. Oh well. But all that hard work was worth it, since the rock I dragged up and stuck to my nest seems to be hiding me quite effectively. Now I just need to make a bit of bedding, and done! Whew! Now this is paradise. Being surrounded by silk makes me feel so much safer. This is the life. Without it, I just can't sleep soundly. Oh, gotta check the effects of those new skills before bed. Instantaneous. Adds to SP instantaneous by the number of the skill level. Persistent. Adds to SP persistent by the number of the skill level. So there's the SP versions of solidity and strength. My SP stats, which were 40 each, have increased to 41. Stamina is important, so that's a sweet deal. Well then, now that I've checked out my new skills, it's time to sleep off all that hard work. Since it's been so long since I had a chance to really bed down, I'll take this opportunity to snooze to my heart's content. So, good night. What a nice rest. Yep, I sure slept all right. What's this now? I planned on sleeping a little more, so why do I suddenly feel so wide awake? It feels like all the hair on my body is standing on end. That can't be good. I stuck my head out from behind the rock to peer down below. Anagrach level 6 status appraisal failed. Anagrach level 3 status appraisal failed. Uh-oh. You might be in trouble, because I think those are the ones that essentially held the grudge against someone who kills their own. Oh, and I think you killed one last time. Oh dear, this is not good. This is not good. Anagrach level 8. Status, HP 165 out of 168, MP 38 out of 38. Grade N blue, respectfully. SP 127 out of 127, yellow. 109 out of 118, red. Status appraisal failed. Anagrach level 5, status appraisal failed. A group of monkeys has gathered in battle formation right below me. I'd say there are about 50 of them. Huh? You're kidding me, right? These guys are definitely aware that I'm up here. Why? I thought my rock camouflage was perfect. I even looked at it from the ground myself to be sure. At a glance, it looks like nothing more than a bit of rock that's slightly jutting out from the wall. So why? The only reason I can think of has to do with the monkey of the same species I defeated before. Did it do something to me, like leaving a special scent on me or something? I have no idea. I don't know. But either way, those monkeys are lying in wait for me. Some of them are even getting ready to climb up the wall. In fact, they're already started. Oh shit. Climbing a sheer rock wall is apparently difficult even for the monkeys, as their ascent is pretty slow. At this rate, I should have a few minutes before the first ones get to me. I have to take action while I still have the chance. One thing she should do is use her poison magic and send some poison at them, and maybe get some poison on them before they even get to her. And that way they're taking damage before they even get to her. You know? The best move here is probably to escape along the ceiling. There's obviously no way I'm going to beat such a large group of monkeys monsters. Alright, time to head for the hills then. Huh? The color of the ceiling is different here. No way, why is it so slippery? My thread is barely even sticking to it. Oh no. The nature of the rock that makes up the ceiling changes drastically just a few feet away from the wall. It's so smooth and slippery that not even my stickiest threads stay attached. Never mind my legs. You're in trouble. That's actually what I was worried about, because I was thinking, why didn't you just make a thing in the middle of the ceiling so that way nothing can get to her? But now we see she can't even do that. Dude, this is not good, not good, not good. And of course, that's a Hot Topic thing. Okay. Sorry, I just got a text and I was checking that real quick. And it's gone. At this rate, the ceiling won't work as an escape route. It wasn't even going to work as a place to keep your bed. I'll also have to run sideways along the wall then. They'll probably try to chase me, but that'll just be a contest of persistence. Okay, let's... What was that? A rock? Crap, these guys are throwing rocks at me! Oh, not good. Wait, how were they even able to reach when the ceiling is so high up? Oh, another one. I quickly take refuge behind the rock, covering my home to escape. Another stone hits the place I was moments ago. Considering how far they had to come, the rocks don't have too much power behind them by the time they reach where I am. However, if one of them hits me while I'm clinging to the wall, it'll probably knock me down. Judging by the fact that the projectiles always land where I just was, those monkeys probably have the throw skill, the hit skill, or maybe even both. Potentially. A cold chill of dread runs through me. I can't get away like this. What am I going to do? Really, I only have one option. I have to fight back. Luckily, even though it's a simple one, I do have a home base here. My only choice is to strengthen it as much as I can before the first monkey arrives and stave them off from within. If we all have to cling to the wall during the fight, unlike the Tome of the Bees, my opponents won't have any advantage. If anything, since I have my web to serve as both a foothold and a fortress, I'm the one with the leg up this time. It depends on if they're strong enough to break through your webbing, and if they do, you are in trouble. I have no choice but to try. First I scatter more threads, then I stick them to the wall with thread control. It's a basic tactic, but it should make it harder for them to climb. Make your threads even harder. Since I have to keep avoiding the stones hurtling at me, it's hard to get much work done. And in the process, the first wave of monkeys have made it about halfway up the wall. Shit, they're climbing faster than I expected. There's no way I can stop all of them with the threads I just set up. Now what? Maybe there's something I can use to attack them first. I do have throw and hit, so if there's anything to throw at them... Oh, there is one thing I can't throw it, but I can drop it. Thank you. I poke my head out from behind the rock and activate poison synthesis. This is what I'm saying. She can do that. If she can manage to land a hit on some of these things of poison, they'll get poisoned and they'll start taking damage as they're climbing. And if they get up there, when they get up there, they'll have some damage already taken and you'll have less to deal with. Obviously, I'm not making weak poison. I use a toxin I've been honing throughout my whole life as a spider, my ultra-potent spider poison. A sphere of venom appears before my eyes and gravity pulls it down. The monkey climbing the wall can't avoid it. The poison hits it right in the face. Ooh, getting it in the eyes too, in the mouth potentially. Ooh, good. Not good for it. And it shrieks in agony as it falls. This could work. Quickly, I confirm my MP consumption. It only used up 1 point. In other words, I can launch up to 40 shots of full MP. I wouldn't try to do that, but because you might run into something later, and you don't know how long it takes for that to regenerate, but... With the amount I've already spent on thread control, that leaves me about 25 shots. If they all hit, I can take about half the monkey forces. I immediately drop a second shot. Another hit, another monkey down. Time to move on to the next one. Now this is a strategy I actually count on whenever possible. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill Poison Synthesis level 1 has become Poison Synthesis level 2. My skill level just rose, but I can't check on that right now. Spider Poison is probably stronger than whatever new venom I just got anyway. I succeeded knocking down a fair number of the monkeys, but they're starting to react accordingly. They're avoiding the area directly below my nest and climbing up either side instead. I shower them with as much poison as I can before they all make it out of my range. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill hit level 2 has become hit level 3. Nice, nice. The monkeys are dropping like flies, but a lot of them have still skipped to the sides. The poison bombs aren't going to work anymore at this rate. I'm worried about how little MP I have left anyway, so maybe this is for the best. I extend some silk toward the monkeys that shifted sideways. This fight is only just getting started. The monkeys are still climbing the wall. I'm using thread control to lay down sticky thread on the wall directly in their path. This is bad. I don't have enough MP. I might have used too much for poison synthesis. If it comes down to it, though, I could probably just apply the threads manually without using thread control. Another stone comes flying in my direction, so I quickly take cover behind the rock. The monkeys still on the ground are chucking rocks incessantly. Even if one hits me, it won't be a fatal injury by any means, but it's still super annoying. The closest monkeys rush right into my sticky zone. Of course, they get trapped in place immediately. That should buy me some time, because if the monkeys in the lead spot stop moving, it ought to cause a bottleneck for... Ugh! These assholes are using their own allies as footholds to keep climbing! Oh no! They call them assholes. Well, they are, but still. There's still more of the sticky buffer zone left, but at this rate they'll break through way faster than I expected. Damn it! I have no time to think now. I aim toward a particularly large group of monkeys and fire a casting net. I lead the hapless victims to seal their own fates. The more they struggle, the more they'll get tangled until it's impossible for them to move at all. The resulting lump of monkeys and webbing will create a worthy obstacle in the middle of the path. As a general rule, once the monkeys are caught, I can afford to put them out of my mind. After all, their stats seem too low for them to escape from my threads. This time I'm not using thread control. My basic strategy is to immobilize all the monkeys with only my sticky thread. After that, I can take my time in finishing them off. I launch a second casting net. Again, several monkeys are ensnared. As I'm about to fire off a third net, a rock comes flying at me. I dodge it in a panic. These guys are way too good at working together. I mean, they freaking fight in packs. Of course they do. On top of that, they're getting cautious of my casting nets and moving even farther to the left and right. Now I can only catch one or two with each trap. These guys are way smarter than any monsters I've fought before. I think these guys are evolved, so... If they're this smart, why aren't they noticing that I'm not nearly big enough to be worth their while as prey? What are they hoping to get out of beating a tiny spider like me? I mean, you did kill one of their own, so of course they're going to hold a grudge until they kill you. But these guys are clearly coming at me with a desire to defeat me at all costs. Come on, give it a rest. I can't deal with this level of fervor directed toward me, alright? You should devote all that passion to something else. Like, for example, fill in the blank yourself. Like the frickin' Earth Dragon. Even then, they would get their butts kicked. Easily. I keep pumping out thread everywhere while I rant at the attackers pointlessly in my mind. Since they've scattered so far to the sides, I have to try and spread my webbing far and wide. I'm trying to be as sparing with thread control as possible. If I run out of MP in this situation, this will get hairy. It's already hairy. Why don't I just stay inside my simple home? Well, because I'm 300 feet above the ground. My threads are definitely strong, but they aren't invincible. They're weak to fire for one thing, and that Earth Dragon blew them away like nothing. While my web boasts high defense, they can still be broken by anything with attack power that exceeds it. I don't think the monkeys will be able to do that. If I were on the ground, I obviously would have simply chosen to hold up inside, but this isn't the ground. If a monkey attacks my little web and gets stuck to it, then its weight will obviously be added to it, and if that happens multiple times, my home may not be able to handle the load. This simple shelter doesn't have a foundation anchoring it down. It's just attached to the wall and ceiling with some sticky thread. It can bear my weight and that of the rock without much trouble, but I don't know how much more it could take beyond that. That is not good. I consider expanding it and increasing its stability, but instead I decide to try and keep the monkeys from getting any closer. My logic is that even expanding my web will only increase the possible load it can bear by so much. Still, it will be good enough for the numbers of monkeys, or it would have been in the beginning. Why only at that time, you ask? Because the number of monkeys isn't decreasing at all. I thought maybe I just failed to finish off the ones I've left hit with poison, but their corpses are piling up at the bottom of the wall, so it isn't like they've been revived or anything. No, it's just that there are more monkeys than there were initially. They must have called for reinforcements. Oh, come on! You cannot catch a break! I don't know where they're all coming from. But their numbers are definitely increasing. There were only 50 or so at first, but now there's easily twice as many. Oh no! And that number is still rising. Not being able to see an end to this marathon isn't exactly reassuring. What am I going to do? Seriously, what now? Not only is my MP drained, now my red stamina bar is starting to get too low for comfort. Probably because I've been spinning threads this whole time. If I run out of stamina, it's all over. I won't be able to produce anymore. So I have to avoid that no matter what. I prepare a morning spider. My target is the monkey that's closest to me. I give it a toss and it hits the mark. Next, I let the stickiness of the thread do the work and yank it up toward me. Quickly, I restrain the monkey as it tries to struggle. Then I strike with Poison Fang. In the process, a rock hits me. Ouch! But I only lost 5 HP. As I expected, there isn't much power in the missiles by the time they reach me. It hurts, but I ignore it with the help of pain nullification and pain mitigation. The monkey soon draws its last breath thanks to my venom. Time to eat! I make quick work of the meal. I have to finish as soon as possible and return to the battlefield. The monkeys are still struggling in my sticky threads. Most of them are so ensnared that they're essentially immobilized, but their bodies are forming a path for the rest of their comrades. Slowly but surely, the other monkeys are drawing closer. I've managed to recover some of my stamina, but it's probably safe to assume that I won't have that chance again. So it's all the more important that I eat every last bite to serve as fuel for the rest of the battle. Whew, all gone. I get the feeling that only increased the monkey's murderous rage toward me, but it's too late for that now. I mean, yeah. I am the predator. No one's going to make it prey out of me. I spray threads all over the place. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill concentration level 2 has become concentration level 3. Since I'm focusing as hard as I am, my concentration skill even levels up. But I don't care about that at the moment. If I let down my guard even for a second at this point, I'm screwed. There are tons of monsters piled up below me covered in thread, and yet their numbers aren't decreasing. In fact, there are even more of them. The number of immobilized monkeys is increasing, sure, but their reinforcements have been swelling faster. It's as if all the monkeys in the area are gathering right here. I only have 2 MP left. Oh no, you gotta level up. I don't know what negative effects there may be when my MP reaches 0, so I can't use it anymore. Just to be safe, that means I can't use thread control now either. But at the moment, that isn't too big of an issue, because the monkey vanguard is right before me now. They've closed the distance between us to the point where thread control isn't even necessary. I produce another thread, another monkey gets caught and tangled in it. And what it does next is utterly ridiculous. It jumps! What? Is it thinking that maybe it'd pull you down with it? The monkey crashes to the ground with a dull thud. From this height, not even a monster has any hope of surviving the fall. Given the choice between dying or getting stuck in the path of their comrades and hindering their progress, these freaking monkeys actually chose death! Unbelievable! I can't help but shiver at this disturbing thought process. I had faintly hoped that if I kept countering them, the monkeys would eventually give up, but clearly that's not going to happen. These monkeys won't stop until they get to me. The only 2 ways this can end are if they kill me, or I kill all of them. A stone flies at me, but I can't even avoid it anymore. I don't have a second to spare. The stone hits me and my HP decreases, but thanks to pain nullification and pain mitigation, I'm able to ignore it. I entrust the HP I've lost to my auto recovery skill. Even as the stone hits me, I keep streaming out more thread. It's my only chance of surviving the situation. Part of me was disdainful of these monkeys before. I mean, they were nothing compared to that earth dragon. Certainly, most opponents have nothing on that insanely powerful thing. But that doesn't mean I can look down on them. What an idiot I've been. Did I forget how weak I am myself? Compared to me, just about anything can be a formidable enemy. What makes me think I can take on small fry so easily? Not to mention that even though I'm weaker than these guys, they're coming at me with such determination that not even death deters them. Given all that, there's no reason I should have expected to be able to skate through this without any problems. So now I have to summon my resolve and face this with everything I have. Another stone strikes my body. It's only one short moment. For just a single moment, I'm startled by the impact. In that moment, a monkey catches one of my... Oh, shit. One of my legs. More than half of its body is bound up in thread, yet it reaches out with its free right arm. My leg emits a not very pleasant cracking sound. Oh, I think you just broke a leg. Trying to endure the crushing pain, I manage to jab my poison fangs into the hand on my leg. At around the same time that the monkey's strength expires, half my leg is torn off! Oh, not good. It's only one leg, but it's still not good. It hurts. It's incredibly painful, and I can feel it despite my pain mitigation. Since it's only part of my leg, maybe HP auto recovery will fix it? I don't know. You probably have to evolve to do that. Or level up to do that. Hopefully it'll recover if I level up at least. That's what I'm saying. But I have no time to worry about my lost limb right now. That attack has stolen too much of my precious time. Another monkey will arrive any second now. I make another thread. Now I'm starting to panic. My stamina is running low again. My thread connects with the monkey, which jumps out into empty space. Paying no attention to his fate, I launch the next one. Experience has reached the required level. Individual small terror attack has increased from level 4 to level 5. All basic attributes have increased. Skill proficiency level up bonus acquired. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill concentration level 3 has become concentration level 4. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill hit level 3 has become hit level 4. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill solidity level 2 has become solidity level 3. Skill points acquired. The moment I hear that voice, I quickly evacuate into my simplified home. It's good timing, but there's a disadvantage to it too. Molting. I hurriedly peel off my old skin. My torn leg has recovered without a problem. Tossing the husk aside, I immediately return to the front lines. Even the short time that molting takes can be fatal in this situation. Just as I had expected, a monkey has gotten stuck to my modest web. They've reached my final line of defense. When I leveled up, my NP and SP both refilled, but it might be a little too late. No, wait, I can still do this. I extend a leg outside my simple home. A monkey grabs it immediately, but what does that matter? I spray out as much thread as I can, forming a huge clump of webbing. Then I pour everything I have into activating thread control. Little by little, my power permeates into the threads. Since my skill level has gone up, the number of fibers I can control at once has increased considerably. Of course, I can't control the entirety of this big cluster, but that's fine. Still, given the huge number I'm trying to manipulate, my recovered MP is disappearing again at an alarming speed. Then, my captured leg makes another awful sound. At the same time, my entire body is dragged out of my home. More monkey arms reach in from outside. I managed to keep my head free, but now my body's been caught. Uh-oh. The monkeys are merciless, trying to crush me with all their strength. My HP is rapidly decreasing, and intense pain tears through me. Proficiency has reached the required level. Acquired skill, life, level 1. What the fuck is life? Proficiency has reached the required level. Acquired skill, magic mass, level 1. Just as I hear the divine voice temporary, my threads are ready. I use all the power I have left to manipulate the thread. Following my commands, the webbed lump detaches from the wall and falls. Naturally, the monkeys stuck there fall with it. With a loud roar, the wall of yarn and the entangled monkeys go crashing down toward the remaining invaders below. Experience has reached the required level. Individual small terror attack has increased from level 5 to level 6. Damn! You got a lot of experience from that. I guess you killed a lot of them. All basic attributes have increased. Skill proficiency level up bonus acquired. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill thread control level 6 has become thread control level 7. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill overeating level 3 has become overeating level 4. Skill points acquired. Oh, she graded up a lot of levels on this one. Experience has reached the required level. Individual small terror attack has increased from level 6 to level 7. Okay, I was trying to see how much we got left. All basic attributes have increased. Skill proficiency level up bonus acquired. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill pain mitigation level 5 has become pain mitigation level 6. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill stealth level 5 has become stealth level 6. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill evasion level 1 has become evasion level 2. Skill points acquired. I've succeeded in slaughtering a multitude of monkeys all at once. Thanks to the molting procedure of leveling up, my captured body and leg are freed from the monkey's grasp. All they hold now are 2 layers of my old skin. My enormous thread bomb took care of most of the monkeys, but the ones that were attached to my simple home are still alive. Even so, they're already trapped in my web. I add more thread to immobilize them, and then finish them off decisively with my poison. Then, when the last one stops breathing, I breathe a sigh of relief. It isn't over quite yet, but I made it through the first wave. The first wave?! How are you not done yet?! My heart wants to relax, but I whip it into shape. No, it isn't over yet. The monkeys haven't all been wiped out. I can't let my guard down until every last one has been annihilated. I immediately exit my web and survey the situation below. A dreadful spectacle greets my eyes. I see the remains of the enemies who'd smashed into the ground, tangled in my threads, and the others who'd been crushed beneath them. And among this gruesome carnage, I spot the survivors who still haven't lost their will to fight. I immediately start laying more threads on the wall. The monkeys haven't given up yet. The moment they're ready, they'll come after me again. Before that happens, I have to make preparations of my own. Reinforcements are still coming. Seriously, how many of them are there? Give me a break already. I know, you haven't had a break. And among these new enemies is something I really didn't want to see. Bagagrach, level 3 status appraisal failed. Bagagrach, level 4 status appraisal failed. Bagagrach, level 6 status appraisal failed. A mouth like a giant crocodile's, and inside that mouth a countless number of fiendish saw-like teeth. A height nearly double that of the monkeys I've fought off so far. A much thicker body too. Freakish, deformed, giant monkeys. It's the monster I first saw when I entered this wide-open area. The monkey species name was Anagrach. I should have noticed the similar name. That giant monster is the evolved form of these guys. And now several of them have shown up as horrible reinforcements for the monkeys. There are 3 of them mingling with the other kinds. Their levels are lower than the first ones I saw, but they're still superior evolved monsters, so I can't let my guard down just yet. Or just because of that. Besides, even the regular monkeys are fierce fighters, so their evolved forms can't possibly be weak. They look horrifying too, so it's probably safe to assume they're way stronger than the monkeys. Sure, they probably can't hold a candle to the Earth Dragon, but they're still stronger than my current opponents, and there are 3 of them. The difficulty of this area has jumped up again. I freeze in fear, but only for a second. As the surviving monkeys start making their move, my mind is dragged back to reality. Giving a wide berth to the fallen lump of threads, the monkeys start climbing the walls from the far left and far right again. Judging by their movements, they're clearly being wary of my thread. Damn it. Of my thread now. These guys are tough customers. Keeping an eye on the giant monkeys, I continue adding more thread. The freaky ones haven't moved yet. Maybe they aren't so interested in collaborating with the regular monkeys? That'd be nice, but I can't afford to be optimistic. I have to keep an eye on them at all times. The primates have apparently given up on flinging rocks. It didn't do much anyway, and maybe the collapsed pile of threads is now preventing them from reaching me that way. So they've abandoned the stone throwing, and are now simply concentrating on climbing the walls. That works just fine to me. These rocks are quite a hindrance. They damaged my HP and hampered my movements, so not having to worry about that anymore is one small mercy. Then one of the giant monkeys starts moving. Slowly, it lifts up a boulder. Wait, a boulder? Oh, not good. You've got to move. It's hefting the huge thing without any apparent difficulty, but that's the huge boulder I originally cut up from my little home. I thought it was firmly attached to the ground, but this thing just lifted it up like it's nothing. Even the tiny slice I made before was wickedly heavy. Okay, what am I going to do about this? Wait. What is it lifting it like that for? No way! Yeah, she saw I was going to throw it. I hurriedly evacuate from my simplified home. An instant later, the giant rock shoots up like a cannonball and smashes right into it. When the dust clears, I see that the rock has utterly devastated my web. Yeah, they would have tore through your web like tissue paper. You gotta be kidding me, right? That's way too much power. If I take a hit from that, there'll be nothing left of me but a smear on the wall. Luckily, there are no more boulders like that near the giant monkey, so there won't be any more crazy cannonballs flying my way. However, my last line of defense, my simple home, has been annihilated. From here on out, I'll have to fight without it. That isn't good. Not being able to rely on it for defense is bad enough, but what's worse is that I no longer have a good foothold. The only reason I was able to fight off the monkeys so far was that I could be confident in my footing, which helped me focus on attacking. With that gone, I could easily slip and fall with a single misstep. Since I'm connected to the ceiling by a thread, I won't crash straight to the ground, but I'll still end up totally defenseless. If I get the monkeys an opportunity, no way they'll pass it up. I make up my mind in a snap. Even if it's a rush job, I have to make a new thread foothold. In the meantime, I won't be able to work on laying more traps elsewhere, but once the monkeys get here, I won't have time to build anything. If I don't make one now, I'll definitely regret it later. Alright, I've made a scaffold big enough for me to stand on. Now I have a spot to take on the enemy. The second round of this defensive battle is about to begin. The monkeys are closing in. I continue shooting thread toward them. For the most part, it's just like the first round. However, there are a few key differences. The monkeys know how my thread works now. They figured out that if they get caught in it, they won't be able to escape. And so the monkeys in the lead are spreading out as far as possible and jumping onto the thread. They're trying to cover up as much of the sticky trap as possible with their own bodies to help their allies behind them pass more easily. As a result, quite a few monkeys are now stuck, spread-eagled on the wall. They're even preparing for another thread and monkey bomb by clinging tightly to the rock surface. Now the next wave proceeds over the path that their comrades have made for them with their bodies. Like last time, they throw themselves down as soon as my web gets them. It's an insanely suicidal strategy. They care more about killing me than about preserving their own lives. Because like I said, they hold a grudge. but it's also very thoroughly planned out. These guys are seriously tough. However, no matter how many countermeasures they try to take, the sacrifices are still reducing their numbers. No new reinforcements have appeared since the giant monkeys arrived. At this rate, the monkeys will be wiped out before they can reach me. As long as the giant ones don't make another move. I'm still on high alert. Even as I face off against the regular monkeys, I keep an eye on their evolved brethren at all times. It's nerve-wracking work. Thanks to that, my concentration skill level has increased. Finally, there's movement from that direction. It's the lowest level giant monkey. The creature does an abrupt about-face and begins marching away. It would have been great if it kept going and just left, but of course, things are never that easy. The giant monkey turns back in this direction and begins run in a straight line. No way. My intuition sounds an alarm in my brain. Yes way, it tells me. Immediately, I prepare my counterattack. My prediction is unfortunately correct. The giant lug takes a running start and jumps over the mass of threads and monkeys in a single bound. Then, those terrifyingly powerful legs launch it right toward me. Finish my preparation just in time. I fling a casting net toward the Goliath as it closes in. Unable to dodge in midair, it becomes caught in the web. Luckily, the impact of the net shifts the creature's trajectory slightly downward. It sails forward and crashes into the wall right below me. With a loud thunk, it sticks to the threads on the wall and falls still. Even so, it quickly regains consciousness and starts struggling furiously to escape. Adding more gluey strands to hinder it, I activate poison synthesis at the same time to create some spider poison and drop it toward that enormous mouth. A giant monkey shrieks in agony as my 1-2 combo connects. I'm a little alarmed that a single shot of spider poison isn't enough to kill it, but all the same I go ahead and synthesize a second dose. The ball of venom lands beautifully right between those horrific jaws. And she killed it. Experience has reached the required levels. Individual small terror tech has increased from level 7 to level 8. All basic attributes have, increased. Skill proficiency level up bonus acquired. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill vision expansion level 1 has become vision expansion level 2. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill acid resistance level 3 has become acid resistance level 4. Skill points acquired. Leveling up is proof that my humongous foe has breathed its last. I hurriedly peel off my molted skin. There's no time to be relieved. As soon as I turn back toward the invading monkeys, I see another one of the giants. Using its partner's jump as a diversion, this one has begun clambering up along the same route as the regular monkeys. How can it be so fast? It was on the ground just a moment ago, but now it's practically on top of me. I think that's what it said, yep. The huge monkey mercilessly crushes the smaller ones in its path as it approaches. With its impressive speed and grip, and completes its journey in the blink of an eye. I hurriedly launch a thread in this direction. The giant monkey dodges it effortlessly, despite hanging off a sheer wall. But it dodges into an area where there's no path of monkeys to tread on. The only thing waiting there is a solid field of my webbing. The giant monkey adheres to it in no time flat. Immediately, it struggles to tear the thread away, but even its power can't rip through my thread silk so easily. But as it tries to deal with its trap, the wall itself starts to produce disturbingly crumbling sounds. Of course, I can't let that slide. I waste no time in covering the creature's body in thread. That should hold it for a while. With that handled, I whirl back to search for the third giant monkey. Since the second one has made its move, I have no doubt the third one will be quick to follow. Sure enough, my prediction is correct. I spot the third one in no time. It's coming right toward me, its huge mouth already wide open. Huh? What was I thinking, assuming that I practically had this in the bag? I react without thinking, moving purely on instinct. Namely, I jump out of the way, off my foothold into empty space. Even then, I can't dodge it completely, and the massive jaws crush all of my right... My right legs as part of my abdomen. Well, as part of my abdomen. My HP plummets. Overwhelmed with pain, I flicker in and out of consciousness, but if I pass out now, I'll never wake up again. I hurriedly launch a thread in mid-air. It latches onto the wall, stopping my fall. However, the rebound smashes me against a stone, nearly knocking me out for a moment. Clenching my fangs, I force myself to stay awake. Proficiency has reached the required level. Acquired skill, Fate Resistance level 1. Probably with the help of my new skill, I managed to hang on to consciousness. My line of sight swivels upward toward the web foothold where I had been a moment ago. The third giant monkey has totally destroyed the scaffold and is now caught in the remains. Well, of course it is. I didn't make an ordinary foothold. Just in case, I built it so I could serve as a trap if necessary. Although I didn't expect it to be destroyed in a single blow. I struggle upward. Since half my legs are out of commission, I use thread control to help pull myself up. I ascend past the thrashing giant monkey. Using thread control, I restrain my adversary, holding its large maw open with webbing. Then I synthesize some spider poison and send it right down the thing's gullet. Experience has reached the required level. Individual small terror tech has increased from levels 8 to 9. Oh, she's about to evolve again if she gets into the level. Which she probably should, considering she's about to, I think she ended up only restraining the second one. All basic attributes have increased. Skill proficiency level up bonus acquired. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill HP auto recovery level 2 has become HP auto recovery level 3. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill life level 1 has become life level 2. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill instantaneous level 1 has become instantaneous, level 2. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill persistence level 1 has become persistent level 2. Skill points acquired. I leveled up in multiple once more. Whew! I thought I was going to die. That was a really close call. If I hadn't leveled up with that kill, I might have actually died this time. But I made it. A second giant monkey is getting close to escaping its restraint, so I slather it with more thread. The rest of the army hasn't gotten as far as I feared, since their evolved compatriots trampled the path they went to such great pains to create. In fact, the cooperation is in shambles, and has given way to total chaos. There's no more rock artillery, and their numbers have decreased considerably. Huh? Wait. At this point, can't I just escape instead of going all out of my way to wipe them all out? No, it'd be silly to get this far and then just run away. If I do that, then there's no point in leaving my home in the first place. How can I run away now when I swore never to do it again? The very last monkey is caught in my silk right before me. Its outstretched hand falls just short of reaching me. I wrap more thread around the hand, rendering it totally motionless. Then I look around. Nothing but more trapped monkeys as far as the eye can see. There isn't a single one that can move freely. Just to be sure, I take a long look around the ground below me, but there are no more reinforcements. Straining my ears, I can't hear anything else coming either. Finally, I've immobilized all my attackers. It's tempting to relax now that I've apparently won, but I can't let my guard down just yet. They can't move anymore, but I haven't killed them. Below me, I can see more wrapped up monkeys than I care to count. Among them are the conspicuously larger shapes of the giant monkeys. The last one of them is still struggling to tear through the threads and trapping it. In reality, it's probably strong enough to actually break out. Not right away, but if I leave it to its own devices, it'll free itself sooner or later. Which was why I kept adding more threads to restrain it whenever it came close to doing so. And so, I intercepted the charging monkeys while keeping the giant one in check. It was a lot harder than I expected. Good thing I didn't let my guard down after I killed the first two. Since restraining the last one took more effort than I thought it would, my MP and SP are getting low. The only reason I'm keeping it alive is that I simply don't have time to go and finish it off. The other monkeys kept coming at me, so I didn't have the chance. And to make things even harder, the giant monkey was smack in the middle of its ally's route to me. If I tried to go and finish it off, I'd walk straight into a sea of enemies. So obviously, I wasn't going to do something suicidal. What I was most afraid of was the regular monkeys assisting the giant one. If the cooperative efforts of the regular guys came together with the strength of their hulking companion, it was very possible that they could break through my bonds. Luckily, they make no attempt to do so. Despite their tendency to prioritize efficiency over their own lives, they choose not to take the strategy with the most obvious advantage, helping the giant monkey escape and attacking me together. I'm relieved and all, but the behavioral principles of these monkeys is a total mystery to me. Although really, it's not like I understand this crazy attack in the first place. There's no way just eating me would be enough to attack so desperately, so I have no idea what their motive is. The only explanation I could think of is that they're trying to avenge the first monkey that I killed and ate. But does that reason explain the lengths they went to? Oh well, there's no point getting hung up on that. I have no way of knowing what some monsters are thinking. Anyway, I go to finish off the giant monkey. Naturally, I don't quite have the guts to go up and bite such a dangerous creature directly. So like the other two, I use poison synthesis to drop some spider poison into its mouth from above. After eating 2 of my poison attacks, literally, the thing finally stills. With the biggest threat out of the way, I can go about taking out the other monkeys with my bite one by one. Every poison fang uses a tiny amount of SP, but I've never had to worry about that before. The cost is incredibly low, so I haven't been in a situation where I threatened to use up my SP. But this time there are just way too many targets. Even poison fang will deplete SP entirely. Eventually. So I have to start partway through to eat and restore some stamina. Rendered immobile by my webbing, the monkeys are still desperate to put up some kind of resistance, so they shriek at me threateningly when I approach. I sense a hint of fear in their cries too, but what do I care about that? They're the ones who picked a fight with me, so they should have been prepared to die themselves. You're not going to catch me losing any sleep over killing something that tried to kill me first. So I ignore their struggles and finish them off. Condition satisfied. Acquired title Merciless. Acquired skills Heretic Magic level 1, Heresy Resistance level 1 as a result of title Merciless. Skill Heretic Magic level 1 has been integrated into Heretic Magic level 2. Oh hey, I got a title! Another disturbing one at that. That's also my second title to come with Heretic Magic. There has to be some attempt at shaming me. I'm not that much of a heretic, honest. For now, I decided that checking out my new skills can wait until later. I leveled up a whole bunch of times during the battle, and it gained a crap load of skills anyway, so it's probably better to check them out all at once. Experience has reached the required level. Individual small terror tech has increased from level 9 to level 10. All basic attributes have increased. Skill proficiency level up bonus acquired. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill poison synthesis level 2 has become poison synthesis level 3. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill throw level 2 has become throw level 3. Proficiency has reached the required level. Skill magic mass level 1 has become magic mass level 2. Skill points acquired. Condition satisfied. Individual small terror tech can now evolve. As I mechanically finish off the monkeys, my level rises again. Oh, level 10 already. That's fast. I mean, I did level up quite a bit during the battle, but I can already evolve again? There are multiple options for evolution. Please choose from the following: Terratect or Small Poison Terratect. I was expecting Terratect sans small to be an option, but Small Poison Terratect? Is that a race that's ultra specialized in poisons or something? Well, I should probably put this off until later. I don't want to evolve until I can guarantee my safety. At the very least, I had to finish off all the other monkeys. Condition satisfied. Acquired title, Monster Slaughterer. Acquired skills, Herculean Strength level 1, Sturdy level 1, as a result of title, Monster Slaughterer. Skill Strength level 1 has become integrated into Herculean Strength level 1. Skill Solidity level 3 has become integrated into Sturdy level 1. More titles. It's another dicey one, too. Is this an advanced version of Monster Slayer? And why did Strength and Solidity get integrated into different skills? I have to remember to check all this later. In the meantime, I go through the monkey disposal routine. Poison Fang, occasionally pausing for a snack or adding more threads, until finally I'm the only creature left alive in the area. I won. Now it's finally over for real this time. All the strength drains from my body at once. However, there's one emotion that bubbles up more than simple fatigue. I survived! Woohoo! Look at me! I'm alive! When I made my narrow getaway from the Earth Dragon's onslaught, I was overwhelmed with fear, but I was a little bit frustrated too. I made an oath when I was driven out of my home in the upper stratum. I swore to live with pride from that moment on, but I've been breaking that promise over and over ever since. I had no pride. I just kept running away so that I could survive. I don't think that was the wrong decision. If I hadn't fled those times, I wouldn't be alive now. But even if that was the right choice, the fact remains that I threw away my dignity and fled. Always running, always scared, always frustrated with myself. But this time I stood my ground and lived to tell the tale. Admittedly, that was because I didn't have the option of escaping. But still, I stood my ground and won the battle. This is my first fair and square victory since arriving in the lower stratum. I'm pumped. Right now, I feel like I can take on anything that might come my way. Ha ha ha! Heroes, demon lords, whoever, whatever, come at me. No Arch Dragons, please. Once again, I take a moment to bask in the joy of my victory. I'm alive! Damn it. 13. The end. I don't have much more left, so I might as well finish it. Okay, Goyev, please lead the way. Yes, sir. And may I say it's a pleasure to work with you, Sir Julius the Hero. Ooh, the hero. The Labyrinth Guide Goyev bowed graciously when I greeted him. As his title implied, his job was to guide people through the great Elroy Labyrinth. Goyev was particularly skilled, a veteran labyrinth guide. Because of my position as the hero, I've been given one of the most capable guides around for my venture into the labyrinth. Now then, Sir Hero, are you entering the labyrinth this time to dispatch a monster? Indeed I am. Apparently there's been a sighting of a unique Terratect. I'm here to take it down. A group of adventurers had reported seeing a particularly unusual member of the spider-type Terratect species. As the hero, I was called upon to defeat it. Uh-oh. Alright, shall we? With a gesture toward Goyev and my comrades, I stepped through the entrance into the vast, great Elroy Labyrinth. Oh no! Is this... Oh no, don't tell me this is the last time we're seeing Julius. Okay. Let's see. Whoop whoop, whoop whoop, we are done, and that took a bit. I got a couple of interruptions to cut out, but I will see you guys in the next volume. So be prepared to listen to volume 2.